Okay, how to replace tie rod ends. We're doing this one on a Mitsubishi L200. This has got linkage steering, so our joint might look a little bit different to if you have rack steering. But the principle is the same. So the first thing we need to do before we undo anything is just loosen off our locking nut. Okay, our one happens to be a left-hand thread today, so just watch for that. If the thread here looks a bit odd, it's probably a left-hand thread, which means you turn it the other way. But for anything with rack steering, it's going to be a normal right-hand thread. That's just the difference with ours today. So we've just loosened our locking nut. Normally that will lock against the tie rod end itself. So being linkage steering, we've got an internal thread on this one, whereas your one will probably have an external thread, but again the principle is the same. So next thing we're going to do is remove the split pin, loosen this nut off, and drop this joint out. Okay, so side cutters are the easiest thing to use for doing that. Okay, so when we undo this, we're going to leave it threaded on to the end, because what we need to do to break this taper lock is to hit with a hammer on the side here, and it just saves us damaging that thread if we miss, although on this joint it doesn't miss so much because we're not reusing it. Okay, so let's pop that down. Okay, next thing we need to do is measure. Okay, so we're going to choose a fixed point on our arm here. So I know people say count the turns, we'll do that as well, but the problem is sometimes the thread on the new joint is actually, there's a different number of threads on it than on the old joint. So what we need to do is to, we've already got a mark on here, but we need to make a mark somewhere that we're going to measure from. Okay, and then we're going to measure from our mark just to the center of this joint. Okay, notice that moves, so we want to just be centered with the joint so that we know how far in this is going to go back, because that's going to affect our wheel alignment. 95 more on that one. Okay, and then we're going to count our turns. Remember, I'm turning backwards because I've got a left-hand thread. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So in and then 14. New joint there, match it up, make sure it's all the same. We're going to need our locking nut off here. I'm going to put a little bit of copper coat on the thread, and that's just to help the thread stop from seizing up. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, now we're going to measure. Okay, so now we're in the same position. Now joint back in. And now we need to tighten this by hand and just line our hole up with one of the parcels so we can get a split pin through. Cool, so split pin in the pack. Just bend it over the top and push that one down slightly, cut the ends off. Make sure that they're not going to shoot towards you and go in your eye. And then we'll just lock up our locking nut again. Okay, so just to look at that split pin, if it'll focus, that pin's just gone through, fold it over to the top. Cool, and just push that back one down slightly. Locking nut is locked. Okay, we are going to send this vehicle for a wheel alignment. It pays to do a wheel alignment after this is done, just to make sure it's all right. Yeah, if you can't do a wheel alignment on it, you want to measure the tyres once it's all back on the ground and flat. You can measure the tyres, so pick a line on the tyre on one side, measure it across to the other side, measure to the point on that tyre. So you want to do it front, do it along the front and then along the back with everything on the ground, wheels straight ahead. And you just want them to be roughly the same, like within a mil type of thing. But that's a pretty rough, not accurate way of doing it. Okay, so that is how you replace a steering tie rod. Okay, I hope that has helped you out today with replacing your tie rod end for your steering. Don't forget to click a like and a subscribe for more real tips from real mechanics, and we'll see you in the next video.